Okay, this is Jacob Schmitt with DeerHuntingSchool.com. This video here, I'm going to talk about TV and hunting shows and things like that, whether it is dictating how you hunt. Okay, I'm going to leave the decision totally up to you. But I found something interesting. I was just doing some studying on Boone and Crockett bucks, which I do this periodically. While I was doing that, I actually run across a deal on Big&J's website. Okay, this here's the Big&J blog post that I found was pretty interesting, and I'll put a link to it below in the description, so any of you that want to read it can check it out. It's pretty interesting. This is where they basically done a poll on their Facebook page, asking hunters, what states they thought were the big buck, Boone and Crockett buck states, and here's the votes as in a pie chart. You see Iowa, Kansas, and some of these. And what interested me is I have this Boone and Crockett book. I look at it all the time, and I look at different things, and I study this. But I thought it was interesting that these are the votes that come in, which was Iowa, which is not a shock. Iowa is known for a big buck state, but most people don't realize it's not the number one state. Kansas, Illinois. Illinois is number 2, I do believe, which it ranks down, number 3. And then what really shocked me was some of these others, which was Texas, which comes way down the list. It's number 11th, and then Ohio, which ranks in the top 5, and then Missouri, it's number 6. Kentucky actually is the number 3 Boone and Crockett state in the United States, ranks plumb down 7. But what really shocked me was when I looked and I was like, Wisconsin number 8, and Wisconsin is by far the number 1 state in the United States. Okay, and there's actually Kansas and Minnesota actually tie for number 8. Okay. Here I'm looking in the Boone and Crockett books, and this is from 2004 to 2013. And what's really interesting to me, is if you were to double Kansas, if you was to take the 2 number 8 states that are tied, they have 333 Boone and Crockett entries, whitetail entries, it still would not reach what Wisconsin has, which is amazing to me. So you take the number 2 pick state, double it, and it's still not going to reach the number 1, which is Wisconsin. But yet that's what we see, because I believe that the media and TV shows and things like that really, dictate how we think. And then what really surprised me was when you get to, Minnesota is plumb down here in 11th. Pennsylvania ranks like 22nd. Okay, Pennsylvania is like 22nd state. And in Montana, which is wild, Montana ranks number 31 on the Boone and Crockett book. And in Georgia actually ranks 21. Now, Oklahoma actually beats my home state by a couple ranks. Oklahoma is actually 14th, which is really a shock. So anyways, guys, I'll put this in there. And then I want to scroll down here and show you this. This is the actual Boone and Crockett. Now, this is from 1996 to 2005. So my records are a little bit newer than this. Is the next that I'm looking at. But if you'll look here, you look at Wisconsin right here, it is just a bullseye for Boone and Crockett entries. I mean, just absolutely a bullseye. Now, obviously, if you look down here in South Texas, there is a bullseye down here in South Texas. And then you look at Iowa, yeah, it's got some, but it's like an overlap coming off of Wisconsin. It's all right in there around that Mississippi Valley. It's just right there. Just something about Wisconsin, I'm not sure what it is, but there's just some giant bucks there a lot. And I will say one thing, that Saskatchewan is ranked number 10 in the Boone and Crockett book. So if you was to take that out, then you would move Texas up to number 10. And then Alberta, Canada is ranked number 12. So if you took that out, you could move up some of these United States states up a little bit. but still, nevertheless, this was really surprising to me. All the best states that you've seen on their website were all the states that you see mostly on TV, which was a shocker, because some of these states were, when you look at the actual Boone and Crockett book, the actual data of information that's put in, and we're going to look at this book here. Some of the data I'm going to pull straight out of this book here, show you a couple pictures. This is the Boone and Crockett Club's Complete Guide to Hunting Whitetails. It's actually a really good book if you're into killing big bucks, because it gives you some valuable information. It talks about how many bucks were killed at certain weather, temperatures, weather speeds, fronts, different things like that. And then it lists, shows the top, all the counties and provinces. Okay, so this is Canada and everything. Surprisingly, though, the top state in the United States is actually the top state in the world. Okay, and in that state, if you took the top 10 counties in the United States, 9 of them is from that one state, okay? But yet, in the survey that they picked, that was the number 8th state that people would pick, because you don't see it a lot on TV, and a lot of people don't even realize that it is the number 1 state. There are some guys on YouTube and stuff that's killed some giant bucks, some really nice bucks. They kill a lot of big bucks. They're from that state. The state is Wisconsin. Wisconsin is the number 1 state. If you took the top 10 counties in the United States, 9 of them is from Wisconsin. Okay. Now, even when you talk Iowa, Kansas, Illinois, all these, you take all them counties, look at the top 10 counties, and 9 of them are from Wisconsin. Only 1 slip in about 6. The top 5 counties in the United States are from Wisconsin to hunt. So basically, the top 5 counties in the world is from Wisconsin. But yet, in the Big&J survey that they done and the votes that was mailed in, Wisconsin was picked number 8. Okay, the number 1 state, everybody always thinks about big bucks, big bucks. Iowa. Yeah, Iowa ranks up there. Iowa is a good state. But is definitely not the number 1 state. The number 2 state that people picked in, Kansas. Okay, Kansas actually ranks down like number 8, I think, in the past 10 years. Kansas ranks number 8. Iowa actually ranks number 4. So your top 5 states in the past 10 years, well, from 2004 to 2013, so a 10-year span, was Wisconsin, Illinois, Kentucky, Iowa, Ohio. And then just to go down a little further, you got Missouri, Indiana, Kansas, Minnesota, Saskatchewan, so up in Canada, okay? Ranks plumb down, and we hear about that all the time on, you see Canada, big bucks, Canada. In reality, if you're wanting to kill a big buck, your chances increase when you get into these big buck states. So obviously, your best state to hunt to kill big trophy bucks is Wisconsin, hands down, fact. Okay, but yet everybody thinks it's Iowa, and Iowa is actually number 4. Okay, and in reality, from 2004 to 2013, 756 Boone and Crockett entries into the Boone and Crockett record book from Wisconsin. Okay, and the state that everybody thinks had 430. I mean, that's almost double. Wisconsin almost doubled what everybody thinks the number 1 state is. Okay, and like I said earlier, Wisconsin, if you took the top 10 counties in the United States, now we're talking the entire United States, we're talking from Florida to Maine, we're talking from from Carolinas all the way to California, the top 10 counties, 9 of them is going to pop up in Wisconsin, okay? If you look at the Boone and Crockett map, just look at Wisconsin. It's like a bullseye of red from the Boone and Crockett entries that's been in there. There's absolutely big bucks in Wisconsin, period. Okay, yeah, there's big bucks in Iowa. There's big bucks in Arkansas. Arkansas, which is my home state, ranks 17th, okay, with 63 entries into the Boone and Crockett record book in these 10 years I'm talking about. And in one county in Wisconsin, nearly had that in one county, okay? Do I like Arkansas? Yes, I was actually surprised at the Big&J that somebody actually voted Arkansas into being, and I wasn't the one that voted that. That's crazy to me that somebody would think that Arkansas could be better than Kansas, Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota. I mean, you know, Ohio. These are some big buck states, well known for big bucks. You know, and a lot of, you know, South Texas was voted. Texas was voted, you know, one of the big buck states. It's actually ranked number 11. I think Texas was ranked number 3 in their vote. Okay, this is what you see on TV. So my question is to you: does it affect how you hunt? Does it affect where you think the big bucks are? Does it affect how you think you have to kill big bucks? That you can decide. I'm not going to weigh in on that. It fascinates me that how the TV and the media and the stuff has dictated and the way that we think as hunters of how we should hunt and how we should kill these big deer. You know, and how food plots is so great. I mean, I have people email me all the time about what do I plant to get big bucks on my property. In reality, you can plant all the food you want. Deer feed at night, okay? And this is just a cut and dry way it is. If you want deer on your property in the daytime, you got to have bedding. That's where they're at in the daytime, okay? Deer feed at night in the dark, okay? 90% of their feeding goes on in the dark. And food plots, most of that's at night. I've done food plots. I've tested this stuff. I leased a property, done some tests on it. Your bucks, your deer are on your property in the daytime in and around the bedding area. So anyways, guys, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. Do you think that media has affected the way that you hunt? Has it at some point? Have you broke that? Do you feel like that you're going to change the way you hunt, maybe because of this video or because your eyes were enlightened by this? I just thought it was pretty cool. I was doing some research and I wanted to make a video on it. And, you know, tell me what you guys think, okay? I personally think, like I said, it has affected me. I have learned some stuff from watching TV. I'm not going to deny that, okay? But I have also seen where it dictates and people think that's how you have to hunt. Let's just take Drury, for example. I love Drury. Mark Drury is one of my favorite hunters. Michael Waddell's my very favorite. Mark Drury is my second, really close to my favorite. I think he's just a genuinely nice guy. By watching him, I've never met him. I actually have met Michael Waddell in person, Nick Munt and Travis T-Bone. I really like Michael Waddell. I think he is truly genuine, loves to hunt. But anyways, let's just look at the Drurys. Look, how do they kill 90% of their deer? If you don't watch them on TV, I can tell you right now, they shoot them out of a food plot. I have only killed one deer my entire life out of a food plot. I just can't get the big deer in food plots. I've tried it. It just don't work. Okay. I don't have 1,000 acres like they do that they can manage extensively. The average person don't have that and never will have that. So you have to go and hunt them the way that you can hunt them, and you can kill big deer. You may not go and kill Boone and Crockett's. That's a rarity. You got to be really, if you're going to kill Boone and Crockett's consistently, you're going to have to be in one of these big buck states, and you're going to have to hunt in one of these big buck states. And it ain't going to Iowa every year, because you're not going to get a tag in Iowa every year. You got to go to these big buck states and hunt if that's what you want. Okay, so I'm a firm believer that what we see on TV affects us. It actually absolutely affected the way people thought about where the big bucks were in the United States, because the facts don't lie. The entries into the Boone and Crockett, the Boone and Crockett bucks that are entered into the Boone and Crockett record book don't lie. But our votes is what we conceive, what we think is what we see on television. It has dictated the way that we hunt and things like that, the way that we spend our time. Where are we going to be at on a deer stand? When in reality, we're probably, if we're hunting like that, is probably the average person's probably not going to be very successful on a regular basis. So anyways, guys, like I said before, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. Have a good day, and check out deerhuntingschool.com for more tips, information, things like on deer hunting. Have a good day, and bye-bye.